Good evening. Welcome to Oconee County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. After a moment of silence, we're going to ask Commissioner Saxon to lead us in the pledge. Please stand. First item of business will be to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second. Motion second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Any statements or remarks from citizens? Any statements or remarks from commissioners? Good. Our next item will be discuss updates to the speed detection device permit. Jody?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This item of business would be a first reading for an ordinance to amend the list of roads for our speed detection device permit. And at the list of roads was evaluated, looked at individual segments where one road had multiple speed limits, looked at those, tried to combine those into one speed limit at the lower speed limit of whatever the segment was. Then also there was several roads that were specifically asked to evaluate. We looked at the speed data and accident data and did a traffic engineering study to develop a proposed list of the proposed speed limits. The changes that are recommended are listed in the department memo. And I'll be happy to try to answer any questions that you have on any of the roads.
Any questions from any commissioner?
So once we go through this process, we'll be able to run radar on each of them.
Yes, sir. The process is once the ordinance is adopted, then we would go through the Georgia DOT permitting process, and it goes through the Department of Transportation and then the Department of Public Safety. Once it's approved by Department of Public Safety, we would post the roads at the approved speed limits, and then 30 days after that, the radar could be used on those roads.
So the proposed speed limits, who made that recommendation?
That came through my office.
Okay. So somebody looked at some data,
Yes, sir.
consultant looked at some data.
The ones that were specifically asked about on specific roads, we used the radar signs that we have to collect speed data, the 85th percentile speed data and the 50th percentile speed data, evaluate the crash history and evaluate vulnerable users like cyclists, pedestrians, things like that to develop the recommended speed.
I know you've got speed changes at like city limits basically.
Yes.
But say when we do the roundabout on Colon Ferry, would you see a need for speed change at that location?
Not necessarily a speed reduction by a reduced speed limit that's enforceable, but it would definitely have an advisory plate.
Probably so many feet prior to.
Right.
Any other questions? Daniel, is this available for consent? Or does it need a second reading in the ordinance?
Well, you'd put it on the regular agenda for a second reading. But no, good, you know.
Okay, very good. All right, do we have any public comment on this item? Next time is discuss the bid award for the annual construction for the water mains and sewer collection system improvements. Adam?
Good evening, Commissioners. So Oconee County issued ITB 2506 2019, essentially just a on-call, on-demand contractor we use for either emergencies, small jobs, or even large projects. We've done this for the past 10 years, and it's just time to renew this. We recommend going with 3 essentially just a pre-qualified list. That would be Po Boys Plumbing, Ohm Shiv Construction, and I guess civil construction utilities. We would like to add them or bring them on board too. There's a few questions about the bid we received from them. As far as their multipliers, I think that there were some typos there that I'd like to get clarification on from them on. But I would also like to bring them on board as well. This funding, this is approved within our budget. Large enough projects will come back before this board, and any budget amendment would also come back before this board as well. I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
The commission, this is an overall effort. We want to pre-qualify certain professional services firms and construction firms so that they can do projects. So this essentially handles the RFQ portion of a bid solicitation on the front end. Then we would just go out with the budget for the actual construction project going forward. This gives us a suite of contractors that we could utilize for the projects.
Any questions from commissioners? We are for consent. Do we have any public comment on this item? Next time, is discuss an amendment to accommodate the July 2025 runoff election. Listen.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, Commissioners. Our fiscal year 2026 budget for elections included two elections, November 2025 and May 2026. However, we did have a special runoff that occurred in July, with early voting being in July as well. So we incurred poll worker wages, equipment delivery and setup, the removal of that equipment as well, ballots, advertising, some other ancillary costs related to the election. So the request this evening is for an FY26 budget amendment. The total of those costs were $14,500. By amending the budget for this amount, it will allow us to continue our next two elections within our budget. I am happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions from Commissioner? Yep. All right for consent. Any public comment? Next item is discuss and consider the abandonment of roadways and right-of-ways in Bishop Point Preserve subdivision.
So we have a public hearing tonight. I'll take comments on this. But if you look at your package, you'll see the roads in Bishop Point. My understanding is no houses or anything have been sold in there, and the developer's just much more comfortable having those roads as private roads, and that means those roads we don't have to maintain going forward. And there'll be a further action probably at the either the agenda setting meeting next month or the regular meeting to discuss the fee that they're going to pay to us. But there's been discussions about how they'll do that. We'll have a good proposal. But tonight, just a public hearing, and then I see we've got it discussed and consider, so we'll go ahead and vote tonight, or good for the vote.
Any questions from?
I got one, Daniel, because every now and then it comes up where we've got private roads and then the roads start falling apart and they want the county to pay for it and they don't know about going through the rezone, all that kind of thing. Is there any way we can make sure to the owners that as it moves down the road that they make sure they tell buyers that they own the roads?
So we've already approved the final plat, I think. So you can't really put a note on the final plat. We could, I think, in our negotiations on conveying the right of way back to the developer, put a condition in that they have to disclose to any purchaser. Now, will they do it? I don't know, but I mean, we could at least, we could do that.
At least if it comes up, the commission can say, you know, we told them they were supposed to do that.
When I come back with the proposal to sell the right of ways back to them, I'll include that as part of it.
Okay. That's all I can ask.
All right, we'll open this item up for public comment.
My name's Ned Butler, located in PO, 574 Conyers Road in Loganville, Georgia, representing the developer. To answer your question, Mr. Horton, talking with Guy, we are gonna have to revise the final plat to state that they are public streets. We also update the covenants in the subdivision to say that they're public streets and they're the responsibility of homeowners association. So they will get a copy of the final plat, they will get a copy of the covenants, and then we will add that into our marketing that these are private streets to be maintained by the HOA.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. And I'm here to answer any other questions you may have.
And Ned's really been good to work with through this whole process, very attentive to detail.
And I'll explain the reason we're doing it. It's, there's no water within over a mile. So rather than doing 36 individual wells, we've talking with Athens, Georgia Well and Water out of Athens on doing a community well system down there. But we can't put private utilities in a public right of way. So that's why we're looking to take them private so we can move forward with that community well system.
Any other questions? for Ted? Thank you, sir. Do you have any other public comment? With that, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. You're all right for consent agenda? Very good. Yeah, our next item is discuss renewal of a MOU with the Tourism and Visitors Bureau. Justin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This is, we previously entered into a MOU with the Tourism and Visitors Bureau to provide tourism services for Oconee County, and it's been a very big success through 5 years. The time has come to renew the MOU. So what you have before you is a redrawn version of the existing document with 3 changes. Number one is a 1-year renewal with 4 additional years on top of that for the relationship. The other, it updates the tax code provisions to match what we currently are under, which would have 50% of the funds collected through the hotel motel tax go to the general fund as opposed to the 40% before. And then third provision officially designates the ability for the Tourism and Visitors Bureau to have facilities designated as, quote, welcome centers. So currently it is utilized as the William Daniel House. This would also allow the Eagle Tavern Museum to be a welcome center or other facilities as Tourism and Visitors Bureau desires. The reason for this is it enables the Tourism and Visitors Bureau to utilize what's called the TCT funding from the hotel motel tax to fund the operations and maintenance of the welcome centers themselves. This just frees up an additional use and uses less of the general fund dollars as a subsidy for the operation of the Tourism and Visitors Bureau. And finally, the again, this is a term, and there is a Scrivener's error, which is my fault because I drafted this. It should be 2023 at the bottom of page 2, not 2003. Happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Any questions? Justin? Good. Yeah. Any public comment? With that, we'll move on to discussion of the Oconee County Extension Office report. So for the last couple of years, the 4-H program's been using AmeriCorps to fill in with some part-time help, and we've been funding part of that at the rate of $3,600 a year, and then the AmeriCorps program was paying the rest of the salary. That program has been discontinued, and so they've been absent of a head of 4-H over there. Daniel left us, and then so they're getting ready to bring somebody on. But with that shortage, and they really would like to have an additional part-time staff member, the request is increase their funding by $6,400 for a total of $10,000 to allow part-time staff on a 1099 basis to fill that gap in this time period. So be happy to answer any questions you have on that. All right, consent agenda, okay? Yeah.
Could I
Okay.
ask you?
Yeah.
one question? When was the phase out?
It was probably about 6 weeks ago. They got a call on a Friday, said it's gone on Monday. So there was no warning at all. We were already into the budget already been approved, so.
Just curious.
Do we have any public comment? Next item is discuss access control and security camera project. Justin?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. This is part of another countywide initiative with our facilities program. What we're looking to do is increase the security within all our facilities through SPLOST 21 General Facilities Fund. In this case, we have two that are undergoing some degree of renovation, the Civic Center and Animal Shelter. This would be the first phase. And we're requesting to allocate $160,000 of the SPLOST 21 facilities to the card access and to for security cameras. We'd utilize Convergent under state contract, which is somebody we currently utilize for our building automation system. So it'd be an integrated solution for the entirety. And then as we continue to ultimately expand this to all of our facilities so that they're on card reader systems with that branding of the cameras. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? You're up for consent. Do you have any public comment? Next item is discuss the OVP gym and fitness ceiling repairs. Lisa?
Good evening. So this project basically is something that we've been needing for several years. We've got issues of the paint peeling, it's landing on the gym floor it's been going on for a while. We're probably sweeping that up a couple times a week where we're getting chunks that are falling. So we have solicited several different contractors to get kind of a scope of work and the best method to resolve this issue and get something that will bond to that ceiling. We've got 3 bids that have been provided to us, all under $100,000, with the low bid being Berry Coating at $83,720. The work includes all the labor, the coating, the removal of what's up there, as well as coating it back to the deck and the structure. Takes a lot of cleanup. It is going to take a guesstimate of 3 to 4 weeks to do this. There could be closures or intermittent closures in order to take care of this. So we're going to have to plan that basically either prior to or after basketball season. But we're looking to move forward on that. The request is for the board to approve the necessary budget amendment from SPLOST for the life of the project.
Questions for Lee?
Thank you.
Do you have any public comment? Next time is discuss additional funds for GDOT Project 15656 Clock Filter Road at Barber Creek. Adam?
So as a part of the clock filter rehab project or the bridge project, we did have to relocate a 12-inch water line. It ended up going over the contract amount by $8,235.70 due to encountering more rock than what was anticipated. We will be working within the FY25 budget to reallocate some funds. We have the money in the FY25 budget. We just, because it went over the contract amount, it has to come back before the board to approve it. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions, right? Thank you. Do you have any public comment? Next time is discuss the MOU with GDOT for utility relocation at State Route 316 and Dials Mill Road.
So this is going to be a very small portion of the State Route 316 corridor overhaul. This would allow the GDOT subcontractor to relocate the utilities on behalf of the county. I recommend doing this because it is going to be put under state contract. It has to be competitively bid. And it would save us some time and energy on our own projects to put our guys on our own projects. So the estimated cost for it is going to be about $184,550. If approved, this will come back before the board as a resolution and a possible budget amendment. We have went through proper GDOT channels to request utility aid. I have not received any feedback from GDOT at this time, but we hope to be hearing something pretty soon. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, Brad? Got off easy tonight.
Well, thanks, y'all. I appreciate that.
We are for consent agenda. Any public comment? We do not have need of an executive session tonight, so Commissioner Saxon.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, we are adjourned.